Yep, et prend place. Bayern Paris, demi-finale. Et qu'on est Bayern t'est éliminé Real, donc l'équipe pour éliminer et on va prendre place demi-finale là. Donc, et nous venons chauffer. Bon, en fait, nous venons gagner bel match. Nous venons gagner un bel match, mais nous pas venir chauffer personne. Nous pas venir chauffer aucune équipe. Nous juste venons gagner match et profiter pour nous faire un live et puis garder match ensemble, profiter de belles matchs ensemble. Ça est 25 compagnies et 25 compagnies qui a parlé avant match hein, en documentaire. Yep, yep. Um, préparé pour un très bel match là. Et nous sommes bien contents de Real qui là, mais malheureusement, bon, nous avons déjà ça dépassé déjà. Que Real a mérité là tout parce que Bayern nettement été supérieur et mérité là. Allons très 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 bel match. Et fanatique yo prend place, prend place. Et après, tu parlais du PSG et le travail Lucien qui fait dans l'équipe là. Et vraiment, vrai, nous sommes gens parité avant ça, donc c'est grâce à Tiloulou. C'est totalement grâce à Tiloulou si Paris, je dis, a venu une équipe aussi comme si concurrent. Imagine au Paris champion Ligue des Champions année passée, mais qu'on a en demi-finale. Hein. Imagine, est-ce que j'aime penser une équipe dans le Paris comme si t'es capable de faire tout Ligue des Champions? Ok, on est très loin parce que bon, gros mots sont en face sur là, je dis, hein, mais j'aime penser que une équipe dans le Paris et t'es capable de faire back-to-back et Ligue des Champions, mais et ça pour noter tout, c'est que Luis Enrique, depuis les entraîneur Paris, hein, j'aime pas faire demi-finale parce que ça fait le troisième saison dans Paris et ça fait Tiloulou tout, troisième demi-finale Ligue des Champions. Troisième saison Tiloulou dans Paris et troisième demi-finale Ligue des Champions. Donc, monsieur vraiment fait un travail colossal avec Paris. Ou ka peut-être penser demi-finale yo pas vle di grand chose parce que Paris te kon toujours fait demi-finale bien avant Tiloulou. Mais ça pour comprendre c'est que et avec Tiloulou, équipe là vinn gon jel vinn consistant. Trois demi-finales affilées une derrière l'autre. Yo, même Real Madrid qui c'est mettre Ligue des Champions, hein, c'est dans le meilleur moment Real et Real qu'on a fait genre de performance ça. Donc, et c'est à féliciter le travail que Tiloulou a fait dans Paris. Hein. Et c'est voilà un très bel match. Moi, personnellement, m'pa vraiment comme si gen préféré. Yeah, moi, personnellement, m'pa vraiment gen préféré et m'pense son match, son match qui 50-50. Yeah, 50-50 et gen plus possibilité, sorry. Yeah, gen pile possibilité pour Paris, gen pile possibilité pour Bayern. Ça qui bel dans match là, c'est que c'est deux équipes qui presque jouent deux styles football similaires et m'pense c'est ça qui a fait match un peu fade tout parce que il t'a beaucoup il fait sens si t'es par exemple une équipe qui a joué transition rapide parmi eux comme si une équipe transition rapide que ce soit Atletico mais pas et pas Atletico gagne qu'on a non comme ça Atletico était dans bon jeu là si Atletico nous songe que fait finale Ligue des Champions comme si une équipe qui maîtrisait les transitions rapides comme si maîtriser camper qui est fait jouer là et après contre-attaque là. Mais que Bayern fait ça bien tout parce que il a fait ça face à Real là. Bayern non c'est une équipe qui est très très intelligente et par moment il compte comment pour laisser comme si et possession de balle là-bas équipe adverse là et puis par la suite et pour opérer en compte et même continuer comme si à jouer football nous carré le tiki-taka. En tout cas, c'est vraiment un très, 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 très bel match. Et match a pas longtemps commencé. Match a commencé dans 20 minutes. Et nous, live bonnet pour nous essayer. Um, Yeah, match là, c'est pour vraiment un très bel match. Et vraiment impatient là, ne pas attendre match à commencer parce que c'est vrai comme si c'est supporter Real et équipe ou pas dans demi-finale. Ça fait un petit mal quand même, ça fait mal lui, mais comme si bon gens ou aimer football et puis ça prend l'opportunité pour garder un si bel match. Donc, ou vin pas qu'attendre que match a commencé. Dans 15 minutes là, match va laguer. Fait préparation là, antenne match à laguer dans 15 minutes là, nous va le frapper. Yep, e match awalagi na 14 minutes.
Yes, I mean, listen, in the form of his life, I feel like we've been saying that for so long now. You think as he's getting old, he's going to drop off slightly, but there's absolutely no signs of it. I think Bayern Munich are desperate to tie him down again. And you think of the space Chelsea afforded because they were in possession. Now, that can't happen. PSG will have a lot of the ball, of course they will, but you've always got to keep this man marked. Two players on him, and his ability to strike the ball with no backflip is absolutely sensational. And he highlighted this game. He scored obviously in the first leg in the Bernabeu. So he's getting goals now in the biggest of games. And that's the whole reason why he joined Bayern Munich to score goals in the biggest games, because that wouldn't have happened at Spurs.
Yes. I mean, it starts everything for Paris Saint-Germain. The way he does press, the way he can finish, as we all know, now is something that is very important for his team. But the way he starts the pressing, look at here against Chelsea, the way he does go and put pressure. From that, they follow him. Usually, they get the ball back. He repositions himself, and obviously, we know he didn't finish, but he's relentless. The team is relentless. Here, he makes sure that he has an eye on the player here. He makes sure that Rhys James won't get the ball. Then ball's going to come here. He's going to make sure that the centre back doesn't get the ball, so he allows Vitinha to go. I know it's a foul on Rhys James, but the way he does good pressure, and one thing you cannot do with Dembele, you can't just jump like that. Bayern Munich cannot do that tonight. Allow him to run, curve, come back, chop, chop, and then finish with his right foot. And one thing that's very important, he has that thing that great players have, is you forget about them. Why? Because you go on the run right now, Liverpool.
Yep.
You think you're going to score. Nobody's thinking about Dembele. Dembele is trying to pick a spot where he's going to receive the ball. Ball comes from Hakimi. Have a look at him. Van Dijk doesn't know if he has to go. Next thing you know, it's a 1-2 Kvaratskhelia. Ball is going to Barcola. And again, he started it. Okay? They're going to forget about him again. They're all going to go in the box, move with Kvaratskhelia. Warren there, Emery is there. And who is alone? Goes back again on his left foot. Boom. And you can see you cannot defend like that against Dembele tonight. But now we're cooking.
Yeah.
You know, I said that Napoli many times. I knew he was going to a bigger team who could win things. Not a bigger club, a bigger team who could win things. Look at him. He looks at the side. He's not a player like he plays. Look how he slows down. Football IQ. Against Liverpool, they'll come deeper. This is what he could do tonight as well. How many wingers have we seen? Stay there. He just want to stay there. Look how intelligent he is. And once he gets to there, has he got the composure? See you later. Okay, sorry, Jamie, I know it's against your team, but I had to show it. And now, I won the goal. How do you go? It's going to go, this astounding. What are you talking about? Someone who can turn a game on its head. Kvaratskhelia is the one to do it.
How did it go?
This man Thierry. Now I wanted to talk about something different because he showed some of his goals already earlier. When he curved it, obviously against Real Madrid. I want to talk about how complete this man is because you don't often associate a guy of that caliber, the way he plays, the way he creates. Look at him going on the counter against Paris Saint-Germain in the league phase, playing with 10 men. That's your defender here. That's your so-called technical player. Look at how he's going to come back to help his team straight away. This is why Bayern Munich is a dangerous team. This is why Bayern Munich is a well-balanced team. This is why you talk about intensity and Vincent Company. If you want to have fun and score goals, you need to do that. You need to give me that. Look at Stanisic at the top. He just in and around came back. This guy is helping his defender with Kvaratskhelia. Look at him. He's going to come here and help. He's there inside. That's what he does. I'll show you another one. It's very important. This is why we think that Bayern Munich is a very certain
Ça?
team and well balanced. If Neuer doesn't set that goal,
final, this one. It's a matchup of the two best European teams in football right now. First leg advantage does, of course, matter. Who's going to get it? Is it going to be PSG? Is it going to be Bayern? Stay with us. Going to bring you the kickoff next.
He passes the ball. Heaven, when we're out together dancing, cheek to cheek. Okay, people, I'm only going to say this once, okay? Listen up. FanDuel, NBA playoff, over, under, 3-point in your face. Buzzer beater, boom shakalaka. You guys bet in the playoffs on FanDuel too? That's our Wi-Fi password. Can you repeat that? FanDuel, NBA, over, under, blah, blah. Turn better payouts into legendary moments. This NBA playoffs on FanDuel.
Dale. Yep, nou preske lage la nan 7 minute. Nan 7 minute match ap komanse. E 7 minute la nan fwape.
The most affordable German engineered car brand is also the most fun. Get in the driver's seat today. Get 0% APR for 60 months on your 2026 Atlas during Volkswagen Driver Days. Like a relentless weed, moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms can keep coming back.
E se pral un tre bel match. Gapil moun ki ba ekip Paris Saint-Germain favori. Bon, quand même. Se champion an tit yo. E nou kon nan 6 minute match ap lage. E rapide vide avan match a lage. An ese gade line-up la ansam. Bon kote Paris Saint-Germain, y ap jwe avèk Safonov nan gol. E puis kom Maredwa, y ap jwe avèk Hakimi. Défenseur central, nou gen Marquinhos avèk Pacho. Et puis y ap jwe kom latéral droit. En fait, y ap jwe avèk latéral gauche ki se Nuno Mendes. Paris pa ti lolo pa preske chanje an yon ekip lan. C'est presque même équipe qui te joué par de finale yo. Et match ak kwa lage la. En de terrain Paris gen yo commencé avec Vitinha à la baguette comme d'habitude, yo gen Neves et puis Zaïre Emery. Et puis devant, c'est toujours trois nèg yo. Toujours trois nèg yo qui c'est Kvaratskhelia avec Dembélé et puis Doué. Bon côté Bayern même, équipe là, yo commencé avec yon 4-2-3-1. Yon 4-2-3-1 nan gol, nou konnen déjà c'est Manuel Neuer. Et nan gol c'est Manuel Neuer et puis sous bord gauche là yo joue avec Alphonso Davies. Deux défenseurs centrales c'est Upamecano avec Ta. Et puis, bord droite là, c'est Stanisic. Et puis, deux nègres de terrain, on dit, deux médians défensifs, c'est Kimmich avec Pavlovic. Et puis, dans mi-temps terrain, il y a Michael Olivier qui n'a pas joué ailier droit. Et puis, Moussiala qui a joué en 10, comme d'habitude. Et puis, il y a Luis Diaz et qui a joué ailier gauche. Et puis, Harry Kane comme attaquant de pointe. Compagnie te prend carton et Vincent Compagnie pas sous bonne touche Bayern non, au contraire, c'est à Aaron Dinks qui s'est adjoint. Pour Paris, c'est toujours petit Loulou Enrique qui a sous bonne touche là pour équipe Paris Saint-Germain. C'est pour aller un très bel match. Match pour aller laguer là dans 3 minutes. Je vais regarder monter terrain là. Je vais regarder monter terrain là et Parc des Princes là, il est en feu. Parc des Princes là qui est en feu.
Very different version of PSG, that PSG though, Thierry. Do you think that game has any relevance today?
No, not at all. We saw last year that Paris Saint-Germain lost against Arsenal in the league phase and then beat them in the semi-final, so it's a different game. It's going to be a classic game. I think we're going to see
Yep, belle animation, bel tifo de la part de
support. But
supporter Paris.
I would have to agree with what Vincent completely said when we saw the
J'ai presque la là. Supporter Real nous y, nous pas go bay n'a défendre nous just vinn prendre plaisir football nous avant de supporter Real nous aimer football avant tout nous c'est fanatique football et supporter Real donc ça veut dire euh, nous dans match yen nan men et puis n'a prend plaisir et puis nous tout profiter pour plaisir à live ensemble avec abonnés yo.
Yeah, listen, I just cannot wait for this game. I love football. I love the Champions League. I can't think of a game I've been more excited to watch than this one over the next two legs.
Yep. N'a regardé joueur là cap monter terrain et match à ça c'est pour commencer là.
PSG against Bayern. We're certainly ready for PSG against Bayern. For the call, we're going to send you over to Kai Tilton.
Quinhos capitaine comme d'habitude.
Paris in the springtime and a game for the football romantics. You all have your favorites.
Quinhos capitaine comme d'habitude.
We can all agree that when it comes to putting on a
C'est un événement qui pi belle comme supporter et fanatique de football pour suivre une demi-finale Ligue des Champions, même quand c'est pas équipe pour supporter à quand même obligé présent parce que son grand rendez-vous football, pas grand 15 supporter football après qu'a raté événement, qu'a raté rendez-vous ça.
here in the home blue.
Des boutons des petits sons ça là, autant des petits sons Ligue des Champions, on va gagner le choix. Quitter toutes sortes à faire,
With a bit of
brocher.
buoyance. And I'm sure this game will be on message. We've got the two leading scorers in this season's Champions League. Three the two leading contenders to win the competition.
Regardez Dembélé qui est plus que motivé.
All possibles.
Paris pral bet couronne en jeu, c'est champion en titre yo. Yo pral réussir à faire back to back. Harry Kane qui a cherché premier Ligue des Champions. Monsieur Tottenham fina carrière Harry Kane monsieur, un si bel attaquant men. Mais il a pas jamais remporté ni Ligue des Champions, il pas jamais prend 15 titres dans Tottenham et puis l'année qui vient dans Bayern là, il commence à dégager. Il a commencé à champion titre là parce que il est champion et Bundesliga déjà.
Coaches were able to
Des fois, je regrette et Nathan Taptan Mbappé a nous pas prendre Harry Kane dans Real.
players named exactly the same 11 that started the two quarterfinals against Liverpool.
Yeah, j'en ai annoncé là et quatre défenseurs c'est Nuno Mendes, Pacho, Marquinhos avec Hakimi en intérieur Jean Neves, Vitinha, Zayn Emery. Et puis dans l'attaque là c'est Kvaratskhelia et Dembélé et Doué. Paris campé en 4-3-3 contre Loulou, nous pas dire à Deb Guardiola parce que nèg yo te nèg yo même génération, te dans même l'école mais quand même chaque fois Guardiola était contre premier, Loulou était toujours deuxième donc c'est mieux même non. Même vieux Barcelonais yo.
Switzerland. He was put about 140 miles away from Munich. His name is Sandro Scherer, and 37 years of age, is considerably younger than the Bayern Munich captain that he's about to shake hands with. It has the feel of a final. The pre-match photographs and the pre-match buzz. Both of the captains, Marquinhos and Neuer, enjoyed the thrill of lifting the European Cup and then reaching the stage of life where this might just be their last.
Igualmente, live score match disponible pour
Munich 11 shows two changes from the quarter-final with Real Madrid. Alphonso Davies starts a Champions League game for the first time this season in preference to Konrad Laimer. Bayern have picked up one or two injuries in the last week. Serge Gnabry is out for the season, but Jamal Musiala is up to speed now and joins the All-Star attack. The other big change is that Vincent Kompany is serving a touchline.
Yep, match qui l'a gagné.
Match is brought to you by Heineken, UEFA Champions League official partner.
We are 800 miles from Budapest, 800 miles by
Dernier préparation là pour entrer dans le match. Yep. Match là qui l'a gagné. C'est équipe Bayern qui a ballon qui a essayé de faire jouer là. Bayern gagne avec Harry Kane. Harry Kane qui ballon de terrain, ballon récupéré par Hakimi. Hakimi essaie de faire le bocage Kenya, mais Bayern récupère le ballon. Le ballon avec Lucas Diaz. Diaz gagne ballon. Diaz gagne ballon, il fait le de terrain. Il gagne le fait par Kimmich. Kimmich fait pas ou pas Mécano fait pour Neuer. Et pas Bayern qui essaie de lancer, mais ballon récupéré. Marquinhos gagne ballon, la temporisé jouet là. Match a commencé avec un pile d'intensité. On senti tous deux équipes, une crainte l'autre. Mais qui Bayern est très haut sous terrain. Contre-attaque Paris Saint-Germain, Hakimi, ballon récupéré par Davis. Et faute pour Bayern. Faute pour Bayern. Hakimi fait faute. Et monsieur Fon, fais attention, je n'ai pas ballon sous derrière. Même ça qui arrive dans Real là, qui arrive là, il parie pas Real, si on commence pour un goal bonnet là, on capable de retourner.
It's the 11th meeting of these two in a decade. Recent history points to Bayern. They've won on each of their last three visits to Parc des Princes.
Senti tension, très palpable sous terrain entre joueurs.
This season, big plays in November. I think if we learned anything from last season, it was that Paris Saint-Germain came still
Yep.
to the boil as their campaign progressed. They have just beaten Chelsea and Liverpool home and away.
Paris qui a essayé d'imposer le match là et Dembélé qui a fait une belle attaque là, Dembélé qui était passé deux joueurs mais non, il ballon récupéré par Mécano.
He's carrying the
Bien joué sur Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz perd du ballon mais Marquinhos fait faute.
penalised for getting up too close and personal with Luis Diaz.
It's interesting just seeing Dembele drift, you know, why we talked about him there, stepping inside him and Hakimi were standing together on the touchline. That fluidity of movement that PSG had. It's kind of have positions on the pitch. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the one that's on the team sheet. Pavlovic forced back. See the Bayern are a little bit happier to go forwards quickly, to hit that long pass a little bit earlier. They're almost inviting it when PSG have the ball, say hit that long ball. Bayern, with Neuer, with Tar, they'll just hit it. They won't worry too much about losing the ball. Yeah, Harry Kane rather drop into deeper positions, but he's a more established target man for that long-range service. Scalia. Nuno Mendes had 20 minutes on Saturday. His first injured in the first half at Liverpool 2 weeks ago. It's Vitinha here, who has been nursing an Achilles injury. Screen. Then to have no contact with the team from arrival, no telephone contact with his coaching staff either. Musiala. Pavlovic. There's his centre-back, Jonathan Tah, just playing it backwards, trotting back. You can see how tight. Happy to stay narrow at times. It's almost does create space. It's on McConnell. Barrett Stadium. Delayed for a fraction. Slayed it off to Musiala. He's there. Painfully so. Zaire Emery has had his. Oh, just on the top of the foot. Bayern Munich have said they're ready to talk about a new deal with Harry Kane, who'll turn 33 this summer. Joshua Kimmich was talking in the build-up to this game about Kane's Davis was the one who got ahead to it. Look at Luis Diaz carrying the fight the other way. He's going it alone, but the cavalry is arriving. Analyse. Kane. Kane stretched. Space for Kimmich. Trying to feed it in. Luis Diaz. Now, did Pacho get to it? No. Penalty. Ryan Pacho reached out and got more of Luis Diaz than he did of the ball. And Munich have an opportunity from the spot. Step up, Harry Kane. Well, it's a big call, and it's the right call, because Pacho is a desperate lunge in there. Doesn't get any of the ball. Luis Diaz takes a touch out and then steps across just to make sure he's contact. Second movement, there's contact. Not the first. That's where the penalty is. It's the first tackle. He might get a touch the second time round. He knew it. Referee Scherer knew it as well. End-to-end stuff. Now, back in December in Qatar, in the FIFA Intercontinental Cup final, Matvei Safonov saved 4 out of 5 Flamengo penalties in the shootout that decided that. Harry Kane is 16 out of 18 this season for club and country. Hasn't taken one for 6 weeks. But he's a man who scored more than 100 penalties, including one in a Champions League semi-final 2 years ago. He's taken a couple in European Championship semi-finals for England. And it will be Kane versus Safonov to see if Bayern Munich can strike first here tonight. Safonov has got to stand and wait for the pause of Harry Kane. He's got to make sure he just doesn't go too early. Kane versus Safonov. It's another from that Harry Kane sprint catalogue. He just scores to order, goes to go. He's found the net in each of his last 8 games now. He's never had a better run, never had a better season. Season teeming with goals, 54 in all, 13 in the Champions League. He scored in 6 games in a row in this competition. There aren't many certainties in life, but Harry Kane guarantees goals. Oh, so reliable, and oh, so composed. Safonov did wait. He waited as long as he could. Harry Kane said, I tell you what, I'll just pick my spot and put it away. And it's advantage Bayern. He's only failed to score once in any game in the last 3 months. He scored in 8 consecutive club games for the first time in his career last autumn, and he's done it again. He scored in 15 of his last 16 appearances. 54 in 46 for Bayern this season. And now just 2 behind Kylian Mbappe, his leading scorer in this competition. It all stemmed from a PSG attack, didn't it? That breakaway we're talking about. The 2 teams in transition when they're most dangerous. William Pacho, who was actually sent off in Atlanta when he faced Bayern Munich in the Club World Cup in July for a high lunge at Leon Goretzka. Had another stab at winning the ball there in a perilous position, and he didn't get it. You can see why he felt he had to make the challenge. Little combination play. Diaz was about to shoot, took another touch, and that's where his downfall was. Musiala has won the ball cleanly. It's Harry Kane. It's Michael Olise. Somehow Safonov and Marquinhos combine to keep him out. Goal was yawning there for Olise to double the money for Bayern Munich. Big moment, and a big, big save. And it is that winning the ball back high, that transition, wonderful vision. Just that touch wasn't out of his feet as much as he'd have liked. That allowed Safonov to shut down the angle because he was a little bit narrower than if he'd got the ball out of his feet. What a start that would have been for Bayern. 2 up in 20 minutes. It was a good stop and an important clearance, but I think looking back, Michael Analyse will feel he should have left neither goalkeeper nor captain with any chance.
It's a glorious chance in terms of the man and his ability. Analyse.
Kane, Bayern rampant, Stanisic. Little flick from Analyse this time. Musiala with the control. Luis Diaz with the ball. Ball cut behind Davies, who was forward. They can't get it away at the moment, PSG, although Doué has won it here. And they can be so dangerous on the counter, so much pace. Vitinha. Little flick from Analyse this time. Musiala with the control. Luis Diaz with the ball. Step through the first challenge from Pavlovic, but not the second from Davies.
I just saw for the first time that PSG, I think for as long as I can remember, not getting forward in numbers, and I feel they're just trying to steady themselves a little bit. Not often you see it, not often you say it. They were rocking for a moment.
Whereas by contrast, Bayern Munich are showing no signs whatsoever of trying to consolidate the one goal advantage they've got. We want to add to it. Came down again. He was tailed all the way by William Pacho.
Lost the boot in the mix as well, and this was the chance, and from that angle, that much of the goal missing. That's a poor finish, isn't it? It's a poor touch. Got more of the goal to hit than the goalkeeper. It's not even a clean strike.
He scored another of those boomerang goals on Saturday in Angers. Seems to score the same goal over and over again. Michael Analyse capped his performance in the quarter-final with that brilliant late fourth. Having had a difficult night against Ferland Mendy, but Analyse had the final word then. A more difficult night, should I say. Kane's okay. Analyse's got the better of Mendy here. Away by Pacho. It's all a little desperate back there for PSG. But this changes things. Instant ball has freed Ousmane Dembele. Oh, my word. Miles wide. And we've seen Analyse with a big chance, squander it at one end, and Dembele with an even bigger chance at the other end. Missed by a distance.
It's a horrible finish. All the time to compose, and I think he's watching Neuer just for too long. Who does well, because you're feeling Neuer might come out, might rush him, but no, he stands and waits and says, pick your spot. Fluffs his lines.
Zaire Emery.
Seems like all the wonderful football that these two teams have, how few passes it takes to get through. That was one pass. Before it was two for Analyse. He's just winning the ball back and going for the jugular.
Marquinhos. Hakimi. PSG have won 8 of their last 9 games, with a 6-point lead again in the French league. Kvaratskhelia. That'll go in. There's no doubting that he'll find the net. So accurate. One step inside to open up the target. Then the most cutting of shots, clipping the inside of the post and equalising on the night. Fabulous finish by Kvaratskhelia. 9 Champions League goals this season.
Fabulous response as well. Once he had Stanisic tracking back, he knew he was in trouble. That little shuffle of the feet. Stanisic, yeah, just loses his balance for a fraction of a second. And it's half a yard, it's half a step. It's just to get that ball a fraction out of his feet. That second touch, That's all he needs. And then it's unerring. The accuracy, it is perfect. You don't have to smash him, just have to roll it, place it. It's a brilliant, brilliant moment for him.
6 of those 9 Champions League goals now in the knockout rounds. 6 in his last 6 games in this competition. 5 in his last 4 Champions League matches here at Parc des Princes. He ran round the Liverpool goalkeeper at that end to score the first of the quarter-final here. He turned the round of 16 tie against Chelsea off the bench with 2 late goals, then got one in the return leg in London too. But there was just such a tidiness about his finish. You just sensed that he wasn't going to do what Analyse and Dembele had done before him. An executioner work.
It really was a stark contrast, wasn't it? Thierry Henry talked about the way the PSG has learned how to win. Well, a lot of it is down to him. A lot of it is down to his form and his goals.
17 for the season now for Kòmantè. And we're back where we started after 26 breathless minutes. So it wouldn't be dull. Pacho will be feeling a lot better. Lovely ball from Kane. Luis Diaz against Marquinhos. Header away by Nuno Mendes, kept alive by Olise. Stanisic with a heavy touch. Terrific from Kvaratskhelia again. Zaire Emery. PSG recharged. Desiree Doué. Blocked by Pavlovic. Just no break in the game.
It's breathless, isn't it? It is so end-to-end. Just 2 teams so open.
We're less than half an hour in to at least 3 hours of this. Musiala. Doué got back there. It's a strange thing, but 6 times in the last 8 years, the team that scored the first goal of a Champions League semi-final has failed to reach the final. Happened to PSG against Manchester City in 2021, and it happened to Bayern against Real Madrid in 2018. This semi-final will not finish 1-1. Hakimi. Nicely fielded by Manuel Neuer.
Feel that chance for Michael Olise at the start that Bayern had. The chances that they were creating and the way PSG were was as good as Bayern could have had it in the opening 20 minutes. And yet here we are. They're level again. They themselves, after saying PSG were rocking a little bit, Bayern themselves now feel have to regroup and just get shape and steady themselves for the next 15.
These are the 2 most prolific scoring teams in the Champions League this season. Bayern 39 goals in 13 games now. PSG 39 in 15. PSG were actually the last team to stop Bayern scoring in that Club World Cup game back last July. And Bayern penalty is the first Champions League goal that they have conceded since March the 11th. They went some 327 minutes without scoring, without conceding. But none of those against Bayern. Bayern are actually averaging 3.4 goals per game this season. That's insane.
Yeah, it's incredible how no one has managed to find an answer to stop them.
It's going to outscore them. Kvaratskhelia gets it back from Joao Neves. Marquinhos. Marquinhos. Dembele. Well, feels for handball. It's blasted from about a yard away. Nuno Mendes, not still rising. Yeah. Well, there has been a VAR check, and this is not deliberate handball. No.
Might just about hit Pavlovic on the arm at some point, but it's about as close as you're going to get. A slight bit of a breather for him and for Bayern.
And for us. With a long one from Neuer. And he's connected with Luis Diaz.
It's interesting that he's barely played out from the back in comparison to what they're used to, Bayern.
Elise just got the better of Nuno Mendes at the moment. And of Marquinhos, still Elise. Oh, somehow it hit the woodwork and fell for Safanov. Elise almost dribbled it into the net.
There's almost all his own work, and he has got some magic in his toes. Marquinhos knew he couldn't make the challenge, and from there, just trying to find his teammate.
Doué, meanwhile, going it alone. Desiree Doué! You just cannot take your eyes off this for a split second.
In the blink of an eye, it's down the other end, and it's just a drag of a shot from Doué himself. Oh, it's off the toe. He's right. He's appealing for a corner. He's got it. That was on target, and it's just a vital little touch off top.
Dembele will take the corner. Click on by Marquinhos. It's Joao Neves. He's just about the smallest man in that penalty area, but he connects with his head. And PSG, who were behind, are now in front. Joao Neves. They just didn't pick him up. Scored against Bayern in the league phase back here in November. And has scored against them again tonight.
Well, it's a fantastic run on the penalty spot. Just goes, get across the near post. There's Musiala up against him, just gets a yard. And it's a wonderful header, glancing header. And you've got to get it perfect against Neuer, and he does. What a turnaround. What a leap, and what a header.
Gone 22 games without a goal. 6th November. He has scored a hat-trick this season, a wonderful hat-trick back in August. The 2 Champions League goals this season, both past him. They were behind for 7 minutes. And 9 minutes after equalising, Paris Saint-Germain are in front. But here's Michael Elise. Nuno Mendes got to that. Doué, brilliant. Vitinha, early. Dembele, not quite clear. Upamecano's caught up with him. Still Dembele, and Upamecano made the challenge.
Does really well, Upamecano. Jonathan Tah went down early. You just thinking, twisting and turning. Does so well to keep his composure and his balance, just to make the block at the vital time.
Those two grew up together, childhood friends from the same town in Normandy, 50 miles west of here. Born just over a year apart in Évreux, Dembele and Upamecano, a town of only 50,000 inhabitants. They played in a World Cup final together, and here they are in opposition in a Champions League semi-final. And a lovely touch. The pair of them got together and arranged for a bus to bring some youngsters from Evra here to see the game tonight. They've known each other since they were half their size. Now, there they were together in another key moment in this pulsating semi-final. We're going long again. Finds a way through to Kane. Now Jamal Musiala. It's 4 against 4 here. Luis Diaz. Come back to Musiala. Oh, well, he had the opportunity, really. He decided to pass it towards Analyse rather than to him. Davies thought about that, didn't he? Pavlovic. Davies might have a crack now. Stopped by Marquinhos. Probably wishes he had shot. Instead, the counter-attack comes from Hakimi. And here's Dembele again. And that's early for Doué. It's Desiree Doué. It's only 2-1. Only.
And it should be more. This is the tougher of the two chances. It's tight for the offside, but from that angle, stepping over the ball, he knows he's going to have to find that corner. I think he's just a bit too desperate. But what a waste from Musiala. Just shoot.
What a game. What a treat. Analyse, I think, was as surprised as anybody when Musiala tried to pass to him. Pavlovic. Olise. Turned by Stanisic across the face of goal and away by João Neves. Oh, fantastic from Nuno Mendes. Turning defence into attack immediately. This is an exhibition.
It's an incredible game of football that, and Peter Schmeichel said before the game, that the goalkeepers are going to have to play well or else it's going to be 7-all. Well, they've not barely made a save, and it's just been incredible to think that it's just been down to the players like a finishing, that it's only 2-1.
João Neves. Kvaratskhelia. Taking Stanisic for a run. Stanisic caught up with him eventually. One Kvaratskhelia is clutching his hamstring. On by Elise, and suddenly Stanisic is free. He's got Luis Diaz with him. It's Josip Stanisic. And across comes Hakimi to make an important intervention. Then Stanisic is hurt or heartbroken. Nuno Mendes, who hadn't got back from the previous attack.
His body's everywhere. Shape's completely gone. There's players at both ends of the pitch. Kvaratskhelia just got up. Stanisic has just got up. We can have a breather because that penalty appeal has been waved away as well.
Just incessant attacking intent. There is not a pragmatic bone in the body of anybody out there. Analyse. Luis Diaz. Stole a march on Hakimi briefly. It's a game that's being played in top gear.
This is all 20 outfield players on the pitch. Is that how tight it is? That's how good you've got to be just to get half a step in on this game.
Analyse. Luis Diaz turning. Stanisic. Luis Diaz. Kvaratskhelia back there with the intervention. Coutinho away, but only as far as Tar. Score could be anything. Analyse. It's 2-2. Wow. All by himself. How on earth do you stop Michael Analyse? If he's not scoring goals, he's creating them, but he's scoring more and more, and most of them, it seems, are works of art. The Analyse collection. 20 for the season. He scored 20 in his first season too. He's a match winner, a game changer. He quite literally scores for fun.
It's just impossible to stop. The speed of his feet and then the power. It's not far from Safanov, the goalkeeper, but it's just through him. It's just a thunderbolt of a strike. Gambles a little bit, but once he got that yard of space on the edge of the D, there was no stopping Michael Analyse.
An artist at work, masterpiece after masterpiece, but done with an impish mischief. Football's just a plaything to him. It's almost a hobby, something to enjoy. And this game, this match, this semi-final is a joy. It's 2-2. Bayern have led, Paris have led, but now approaching half-time, it's all square.
Who's going to win it, Clive? It's impossible.
I think we're going to know for at least a week.
This has been an impossible game to call. It's just been end-to-end, fully charged, two teams at the top of their game. It's been an absolute joy.
It's the dare to win that is absolutely inherent in both of these teams. Analyse encapsulates that. 4 goals in his last 6 appearances now. Sealed the deal with the late 4th in the quarterfinal 2 weeks ago. 20 for the season again. You'll need a break.
I just feel that there's 2 teams in their hotel, the team hotels, watching this, about to play tomorrow, thinking, we've got to play either of these in the final.
Analyse. Nuno Mendes has done as well as he can. Just used a little bit of muscle as much as anything in an attempt to find a solution to the Analyse problem.
Sure, I've seen him stretched and pushed and pulled in a half of football like this before. Nuno Mendes.
With control under pressure from Kvaratskhelia. You take it for granted. The ability to bring a high hanging pass under your spell, under pressure. Referee's about to make himself very unpopular because he's going to blow his whistle in a minute and he's going to stop this for a while. Shouldn't be allowed.
I think he needs a breather like everyone else. I think he's made the one big call he's had. And the penalty, he got that right.
And sometimes after a half like this, you fear that the teams will go into the dressing room and the coaches will say, enough of that, guys, come on. We need to be a little bit more careful in what we do. I don't think that's going to happen here. Dembele, nothing careful about him. On by João Neves. Zaire Emery lets you run to Hakimi. Here's Vitinha. Zaire Emery. Hakimi and Tar had to get to that corner kick. 1 added minute.
Just needed that run across the near post. So there, but Hakimi again, stretching. Feel the Stanisic on the right, struggled against Kvaratskhelia. Hakimi bombing on has been the problem on the right, on the PSG right.
Paris Saint-Germain have scored from their only corner in the game so far. Dembele, little flick on by Doué. Nuno Mendes. Kvaratskhelia. Dembele. Charged down by Davies. You can see the appeals for handball. Kvaratskhelia, though. Saved by Neuer. His assistant had a very good view of that and was on move. It is being checked. The last activity of the half will be a VAR check. Carlos del Cerro Grande, Spanish referee, who might just take a long look at that because the hand's out and away from the body.
Yeah, he's had it behind his back. It's off his thigh. I think that might just save Alphonso Davies. It is out. I think it just flicks off his thigh. That would be the only thing that saves him here.
We should just add at this moment that Paris Saint-Germain scored 2 of their last 6 penalty kicks. 6 different takers. So Marquinhos, if it gets the award, has got to find somebody who can convert it. Alphonso Davies holds his breath. The only thing that could stop this game was a VAR check. I think Davies is going to be penalised here. It is going to be a Paris... No, he's going to look himself. He's going to check himself. Hasn't quite got the black cap on yet. But when they're sent to the screen, they usually come away with a change of mind.
To see it just flick off his thigh. If it went straight onto his arm, that would be a penalty. But because it comes off his own thigh, this is down to his interpretation. I'm not sure.
Penalty. Right, Nuno Mendes and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia have scored in recent weeks. Kvaratskhelia a week ago against Nantes. But I repeat, PSG have scored just 2 of their last 6 penalties. I feel for him a bit.
Yeah. Once the arm comes out, you're in trouble.
I think Kvaratskhelia is going to take responsibility again. He went low to the goalkeeper's left against Nantes a week ago, and the keeper almost got to it. In total, PSG have missed 9 penalties this season, including shootouts, which is amazing when you remember the efficiency of their penalty taking in the round of 16 shootout at Liverpool last season. Well, they've lost their way to goal from 12 yards.
He has been the most convincing out of the 6 to take one. Put it away well, but this has been a long wait now. It's been more than 2-3 minutes just waiting for the decision.
And in a semi-final of this competition 14 years ago, Manuel Neuer saved from Cristiano Ronaldo and Kaká. Well, it's going to be Dembele. Usman Dembele, through the hands of Neuer. But Jamal will take lead into the break at the end of an exhausting, exhilarating half of football. Dembele, whose 2 goals laid at Anfield 2 weeks ago, wrapped up the quarter-final, is the man who has given PSG the edge quarter time in the semi-final. What a half. Well, it's been a 5-goal thriller. We're only a quarter of the way through. Dembele hits this confidently enough that Neuer, going the right way, just can't get there. There was a controversial call at the end of the half. Bayern feel aggrieved about, but it's been a spectacular first half. I think if Bayern Munich can prove that the ball came first off the trunk of Alphonso Davies and onto his hand, then they really do have a cause for complaint. But we have got nothing to complain about. As onlookers, it has been as good as we hoped it would be, and we hoped it would be brilliant. Both teams have held a lead, but the final ruling of the half against Alphonso Davies means a penalty by Dembele makes it Paris 3, Munich 2.
This match is brought to you by MasterCard. And Heineken, UEFA Champions League official partners.
Hey, people, I'm only going to say this once, okay? Listen up. FanDuel, NBA playoffs, over, under, 3-point in your face. Buzzer beater, boom shakalaka.
You guys bet in the playoffs on FanDuel too?
That's our Wi-Fi password.
Can you repeat that?
FanDuel, NBA, over, under, blocks.
Turn better payouts into legendary moments. This NBA playoffs on FanDuel.
This is the true story of Alex. Recently promoted, he was earning more, but investing for the future, I definitely needed a plan. With his advisor, Dennis, Alex invested his savings into 3 accounts. One for now, one for later, and of course, his retirement. A plan in motion put the future in focus. The wedding, the barndominium, kids, maybe kids. The point here, Alex has more than big goals for his future. He's got a plan to get there. JP Morgan Wealth Management.
Every set of Continental tires is going to be total confidence.
Total confidence. Like knowing I have industry-leading coverage. Like if my road trip gets interrupted, you have coverage that can help with that. And my tires are optimized for comfort and to reduce road noise.
Everything we do is engineered to give you confidence. And now, the smart choice in tires.
Have industry-leading coverage. Like if my road trip gets... And my tires are optimized for... When we hit the pothole, I was worried we'd be stranded for hours.
And our lives would revolve around the pothole. Pothole. I'll use my credit card to order 50 philosophy books.
Pothole. It's deep.
Candy, no.
Oh, get out.
Shoot. But that never happened. Thanks to the Geico app, help arrived in under an hour.
It feels good to get help fast. It feels good to Geico.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the Big Crispy Chicken Sandwich. Yeah, that looks pretty good, but do you still get bottomless chips and salsa? Okay, and what about a bottomless drink? Sure, but answer this. Is Chili's Big Crispy Sandwich bigger than McDonald's McCrispy? Oh, well, yeah, that is way bigger. So all of that deliciousness is still just $10.99? Oh, fast food is not gonna like this. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Saturday, Australia's own Jack Della Maddalena collides with the relentless Kòmantè. It's UFC Fight Night, Saturday, only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome, everybody. Wowee. You are welcome. Welcome to the Halftime Report presented by Heineken. Kate, Thierry, Jamie, and Micah here. Goodness me, 5 goals in the first half. First time ever that we've seen 5 goals in the first half of a Champions League semi-final. Let's run you through them because there's plenty to go through. We're going to start with Bayern being given that penalty. Micah?
It was just, the game was absolute madness. I mean, there's so much quality. But then this happened. I mean, some would say it is, some would say it was. He's not going to overturn it. So then the pain steps up and tucks it away coolly, I would say. TT?
And then Varashkele, I love the fact that he didn't wait the ball for the ball to go in his feet. He made a run in behind. Desiree gave him the ball. Little shimmy, go inside, curve it straight away here. Oops, boom.
Ooh. And then before you know it,
1-1.
It's 2-1. Neves from a corner, very Roy Keane-like against Juventus all those years ago. Brilliant header, 2-1, but there was still more to come.
Yes, and then the big man, Michael Olise, being inside, as you're going to see here, receiving the ball, and you could see that he was upset. He wanted to go to goal. Goalkeeper Safonov trying to anticipate something. He shouldn't anticipate that. The ball is almost in the middle, curved it.
Oh,
you can
wow.
celebrate. 2-2.
Then the decision that spoiled it. I don't think it's a penalty. Dembele there on Davies' arm.
It's a disgraceful decision. It's absolutely shocking. One of the worst decisions you'll see. And we've watched one of the best 45 minutes we've probably ever seen. But he scores a penalty.
3-2, half-time. What a game. Can't wait for the second half.
What a half of football. The
Let's
second
go.
half is coming. We will bring you kickoff on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Sister ball. Heaven, when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
Tonight we feast. Sorry, BRB squad.
Get home internet from AT&T. Now available across the nation.
Good. We get social real quick.
Oh, let's go.
Well, I'll have another. Make it a double.
Dad, Mom thinks she's at a resort again.
Yeah, she told me.
When you'd rather not resort to a virtual resort,
This is much better in real life.
it matters where you stay.
Looking good, babe.
Book your spring break travel now. Hilton for the stay.
You know, coffee spikes your cortisol.
Yeah, but it's good for your liver.
Pro tip, magnetic hydration.
Cardio ruins muscle gain.
Standing ruins your knees.
Sleep is overrated.
Sleeping it hard on your hips.
It's your start.
Striker is on the move. He cuts inside. Controls past one defender. He's heading towards the box. He shoots. Heaven. I'm in heaven. And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. When we're out together, dance. Out together, dance and cheek to cheek.
I'm back.
Here you leave today and enter a world of
Father, worlds.
whatever you love. Infinite worlds await.
Match day. Let's go. Kinder chocolate bars. Why not?
Tom's stealing our treats again.
Nutella all day. It's crunch time. Diet. How about Mr. Butterfinger? Go all in. Buy any 2 Ferrero brands for your chance to win $1 million. It's crunch. Yes, sir.
Yes, welcome back to the Heineken Halftime House. We're at the break in Paris, so yes, it is time for a Heineken unmissable moment. What did we choose? What have we gone with?
We're not going with rhyming. We've gone with, there's too much quality. We just want to talk you through the goal.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go with the equaliser goal from PSG. And it was that man, Kvaratskhelia, putting a spellier on Bayern Munich.
Well, we have to go with Elise. Look at this. See you later. Everyone was turning up. He wanted his goal. And this man now is on his way to potentially a Ballon d'Or. Oh, that's how good he's been tonight.
Big shout.
Big games, big names.
Yes, that is it. That is our first half Heineken unmissable moment. We're going to have more from the Champions League in just a second.
Stay with us.
Coming up. Yes, do.
Keep pushes the ball. Yeah, when we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
You guys getting service up here? Blazing fast Cricket 5G. Nah. Yeah, you should join Cricket. With Cricket, go from nah to Cricket 5G is on the AT&T network.
Hotels.com is where you go to choose from hundreds of thousands of hotels and earn rewards on every stay. It's exactly what it sounds like. Unlike catfish, which is not what it sounds like. Hotels.com. It's all in the name.
Ladies and gentlemen, Twice Yearly Prep is here. One office visit every 6 months, 2 times a year for HIV prevention. That's that's Yes2Go. Yes2Go is an injectable prescription medicine that helps to protect against HIV through sex. One office visit every 6 months. One during your winter glam, and one during your summer glow. One during your winter time. One during your summer shine. You must be HIV negative to receive Yes2Go and get tested for HIV before each injection. If you think you were exposed to HIV or have flu-like symptoms, tell your healthcare provider right away. HIV testing may be needed. Yes2Go does not prevent other sexually transmitted infections. Practice safer sex and get Yes2Go as scheduled. Missing doses increases your chance of getting HIV. Tell your provider about your medical conditions if you are pregnant or plan to be and all the medicines and supplements you take, as Yes2Go may affect some medicines. The most common side effects are injection site reactions, headache, and nausea. Rare serious injection site reactions can occur, so tell your provider about any side effects. 99.9% of people stayed HIV negative. Ask a healthcare provider if Yes2Go is right for you.
Hey there, everybody. Got to get something off my chest real quick. Recently, it seems like I've been talking, but no one's listening. Been thinking about getting a therapist, a mind wrangler, a feeling hurter, someone who really listens to what I have to say.
Buddy, I hear you. Look here on ZocDoc, 15, 10, 20 therapists, take insurance. Got a guy straight to the point, no small talk.
No, I see a 4-star, 4, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5.
5 stars. Got a guy, don't just listen, make you really feel like you're being heard.
Cool.
You've got options.
Love you, buddy.
Download the ZocDoc app today.
Welcome to Genesis.
Sarah Benzino, Brandon Coley, Jablonski Auto Body LLC.
What'd she call Harper?
Oh, you mean Jablonski Auto Body LLC?
We actually sold the twins naming rights.
You know, like stadiums do. Kids are so expensive these days. Here he goes.
Place, Freeze, Tan, and Spa.
You need a tan? I'm your man.
To do business with you.
Or we can look at some investment options for you.
Stress. The right money moves aren't as absurd as you think.
This match is brought to you by MasterCard. And Heineken, UEFA Champions League official partners. Hi everybody, PSG 3-2 up against Bayern. You know who's in the best position tonight? Anita and Peter, pitch side. Not bad, hey guys?
Well, Kate, this first half has been absolutely sensational. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world tonight. Peter, it's really felt like blink and you might miss something.
Yeah, and I nearly did. I blinked. I actually left my seat to come down here, and I stood next to Wilson Company, who sits behind us, when Analyse scored. I didn't see the goal. I actually saw it on the replay, but he was celebrating like mad. But I have to say, a great game, probably one of the best games I've ever seen, ruined by a silly referee's decision at the end. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. The Bayern bench, not so much the players, in the tunnel went absolutely berserk on the referee. And I'm with them. I don't think that was a penalty.
Well, 5 goals so far. It's definitely not over yet here in Paris.
No, it's not. We're about to be on. Here we go. Rob Green and Clive Tilsley with the second half call.
Conrad Lima for Alphonso Davies is a half-time change for Bayern Munich. It's like Lima is going to line up at left back against Desiree Doué, and his first involvement in the game is a smiling push to the ground. He's caught the mood of it already, Rob Green alongside me.
Yeah, what a half, and welcome to the game, Conrad Lima. Get your lungs ready, because this is going to be end-to-end stuff if their first half with anything to go by. Just full of attacking intent from both teams, full of transitions, wonderful breakaway football. Throw in 5 goals into that, something to behold.
We had to wait 17 whole minutes for the opening goal of the game. We haven't had to wait another 10 minutes for another goal at any stage in the match as yet. Paris Saint-Germain have now scored 2 or more goals in each of their last 9 Champions League games in the knockout stages. That's a new record for the competition. A record set 10 years ago by a Barcelona team coached by Luis Enrique. Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Mendes searching forward, Upamecano away. PSG have now scored 20 goals in 6.5 matches in the knockout rounds this season. Bayern Munich have scored 16 in 4.5 knockout games so far this season. Remember, they were 3-0 down at half-time last Saturday to mid-table Mainz in the Bundesliga and won. So comebacks are their thing.
It's fair to say that it has clicked for PSG in the knockout stages again. Bayern Munich, it seemed to have clicked from the get-go this season, and nothing has shown any signs of abating in this game, and it's been interesting to watch. Both teams have just gone for it with numbers, with position sense. When they press so well. Every pass forward has been hotly disputed, which has led to areas of vast spaces like this where players can get into behind, and they've shown that they could break into those quite happily.
Olise swept on by Musiala, but slightly behind Luis Diaz. Lima almost kept it alive. I would imagine that Alphonso Davies' removal has more to do with his general fitness level than that rather unfortunate handball decision given against him on the stroke of half-time. Jesse Marsh will be watching on with some concern. He hasn't played for Canada for over a year because of his injury issues. But he looked fit enough during that half, but there's always a chance that he wouldn't go the distance. Tar towards his replacement Lima.
Unfortunately, these slips. It was unfortunate. He was harsh on the penalty. His arm was out and had come off his body, so cause for argument on both sides, but he didn't look lost in the chaos. Alphonso Davies in amongst it all, which is something to behold for a player who hasn't played that much.
Yeah, June the 12th, Toronto, Bosnia-Herzegovina. It's the dates on the minds of all Canadian football fans. It's not very far away now, is it? Here's Upamecano. Serge deserved better. Tar minding the store while he's away.
That was the centre-back passing it to the right-back inside the box there. That was just highlighting what we saw in the first half and what we're seeing throughout these two.
Marquinhos. Lima and Tar will sort that out. Oh, Harry Kane is. Musiala. So pulled by Pacho. Yeah, on that theme, I was looking back a couple of days ago at that meeting at Atlanta in the Club World Cup. Here's Kane. Luis Diaz. It's couldn't quite find the space for a shot at goal. Dembele. Kvaratskhelia. Game as open and stretched as it was before half-time. Kvaratskhelia escapes from Upamecano, got the ball. Well, Kvaratskhelia was in the act of shooting, quite literally. And the ball was gone.
Well, Upamecano does nothing. He just runs. Kvaratskhelia kicks him. He completely cleans him up on the outside. Do you see Upamecano? There's no challenge whatsoever. Just puts his foot on the ground. There's nothing guilty there. It's Kvaratskhelia who's fouled anyone, if anything.
He's hurt himself in the process. To return to the story of the game between the two last summer, PSG were leading 1-0 in the quarter-final of the Club World Cup. They'd had 2 players sent off, down to 9, stoppage time, and Hakimi dribbled forward into the Bayern penalty area to set up a second goal for Dembele. There is just no circumstances in which defence becomes a priority for either of these clubs.
Saying the first half how difficult it's been to stop either team. Well, you can still win a game. Just go and score more, like you said.
And home or away, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there'll be a rousing atmosphere in Munich next week, but not that will intimidate. Here's Luis Diaz. It's not as if PSG will go into their shell there. We'll get another game like this, you can be sure of it.
We talked about games of seizing momentums and moments of that. It's been about 40 in the first half, so it's very difficult to see the ebb and flow when it's just all-out attack.
Memo to self, tack calculator next week. No, he hasn't played it out short once tonight, has he?
They're leaving a lot up top. They're leaving players forward. And you can see why. Got players that they can hit, who can win a header. They can bypass the press.
Do it. Well, they've gone back to the goalkeeper. Forced back, though. And it was a very reluctant backward step that PSG took. So many forward passes like that one. Pavlovic, Elise able to turn on him. Musiala. Space here for Luis Diaz. It's clipped in. There's a chance at the far side for Stanisic. Tried to turn it across goal for Harry Kane.
Middle of the goal, he's waiting. It's a tap in. Can't believe it.
It's almost time for Stanisic to take a touch and shoot himself, but Kane he's always the obvious option when there's a goal-scoring opportunity. Here is Kane. Luis Diaz once more. Pull back and Lima. That was a chance too. Just behind him slightly, couldn't adjust.
Just at him a little bit too fast. A lovely little touch from Harry Kane. See the run of Lima stepping in and just that bit behind him. A little bit too far beyond the near post.
But again, it's the left fullback who's making that bold run, overloading the penalty area, and it's almost impossible to defend against. There are just so many of them.
Well, they are just nominal positions, aren't they? That they go back to at some point. When they attack, they just go.
There's Upamecano going. He had nowhere to go thanks to Kvaratskhelia. Zaire Emery. Isn't miscued that by Kvaratskhelia, but Hakimi can keep it alive. That's awkward for Neuer from Pavlovic. Did pretty well, the goalkeeper. Does seem as if he's going to stay one more year with Bayern. Turned 40 last month, but in preliminary talks about extending his stay.
Not sure I'll be giving many thanks to Pavlovic for that.
Edwin van der Sar played in a Champions League final at 40. Hakimi suddenly free. Oh, and run over it. 4-2. 2 for Kvaratskhelia. Dembele seemed to jump over the ball in the penalty area when he had an opportunity to score, but it ran kindly for Kvaratskhelia. And he just doesn't miss in the Champions League at the moment. 10 Champions League goals for the season for him. 7 in the knockout rounds.
It's just a sheer weight of numbers going forwards. Bayern a stretch, they get dragged in with Doué. Look at the 3 players charging in, 4 at the near post, buys the space. And then from there, Kvaratskhelia has to stand and watch and wait, pick his spot. Neuer gambles, thinking Stanisic has got it blocked one side, I'll go the other. Stanisic just can't respond from one side of the pitch to the other. They come forward, flooding through. Just a man on the spare, at the back. It's Kvaratskhelia again.
7 in the knockout rounds. 7 in his last 6 games in the competition. 6 in his last 4 here. Here they come again with Hakimi. Doué. Dembele can't reach it. Stanisic keeps his head. Well, clear daylight. First time tonight that either team has held a 2-goal lead.
Just feel, looking at the body language of the Bayern players, the first time it's been really tested as well. The belief now, feel they'll keep going, but confidence, the flow is with PSG.
Bayern unbeaten since January the 24th, unbeaten in 19 games. Musiala, Kane, Lima. But so easily fallen for a red shirt. Instead, it's a blue break. Doué. Dembele trying to time his run. Ousmane Dembele's got 2. PSG have got 5. Devastating counter-attack. Doué and Dembele were outnumbered. But they are so difficult to contain. Ousmane Dembele, 35 goals, won in the Ballon d'Or last season. He's got 2 more tonight, 18 for this season. An injury-hit season. Scored in last year's semi-final. He's got 2 in this year's.
Well, it's 2 in 3 minutes. Kvaratskhelia at the double, Dembele at the double. He knows that he can just get it on the near post. Around Upamecano, through the legs of Upamecano, somewhere around there. Neuer's got no chance, and he's rooted. And Paris waited, Neuer waited, just to see where that ball ended up. 3-goal advantage now.
He was a long-time target of Bayern Munich's in his younger days. Chose Borussia Dortmund ahead of them as a teenager. He's had his moments against them since. Scored that late second in that Club World Cup quarter-final in Atlanta last summer that I was talking about. Scored in last year's semi-final against Arsenal and has got 2 either side of half-time tonight. And suddenly those 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes from Kvaratskhelia and Dembele have threatened to take this semi-final away from Bayern.
We said this could be anything.
And it still could. Vitinha. Dembele lets it run again. Kvaratskhelia. Upamecano gets across and clears. Foul by Nuno Mendes.
Respite for Bayern. He's got a challenge on his hands now. Yes, it could be anything, but a 3-goal swing, 3-goal shift is something monumental now for Bayern.
Pavlovic. Lima. You just know they'll keep creating chances, but I think they'll keep conceding them too.
Well, that chance there just before the goal as well. They got into that same area, didn't they? And just couldn't capitalise. It's not that they don't have their own threat. They don't have their own encouragement.
Fabian Ruiz had 45 minutes on Saturday, which was his 3rd appearance in a week after 3 months nursing a knee injury that I think a lot of people at Paris Saint-Germain felt might have healed a little quicker than it did. It became a bit of an issue. He was from their starting 11 that won the final in Munich last year, and he's a real force, the Spanish international.
Peter Schmeichel was saying before the game, the keepers are going to have to play well. PSG have had 5 shots on target, scored 5 goals. Neuer's not stood a chance.
I was going to ask you about that as a former international goalkeeper yourself. I mean, he's hardly moved on the last 2.
Well, the 5th was hard enough.
Luis Diaz. He's got through himself, and that's great keeping by Safanov.
Sharp from Diaz, and even sharper from Safanov. He just recognises that space. I've got to attack that space. Proactive again.
Nuno Mendes is. I'm tempted to say why. Kimmich. Analyse. Zaire Emery filling in for Nuno Mendes at left back. Played at full back a few times this season. Pavlovic. Arendach is a little short of options from the bench. Bayern have picked up 2 or 3 injuries in the last week or so. Gnabry, Guerrero, Bischoff, Carl, all missing tonight. Was a foul there on Luis Diaz, which he resisted, but the referee played an advantage and has brought it back.
Yeah, exactly that. Hakimi there, just that little clip, got him off balance.
So Fabian Ruiz, who scored in the semi-final, a sweet volley against Arsenal last season, has not had 90 minutes since January. He now makes his most significant appearance since his recovery from that knee injury. Warren Zaire-Emery, who's played in every game this season, who's nudged him out of the starting 11, is the man he replaces.
He's got a wonderful effort, hasn't he? Wonderful composure about him. Don't think that will change the game. Like for like swap.
Joshua Kimmich. Towards the Upamecano. They go another one. It's 5-3. Dayot Upamecano's first Champions League goal. It's overdue. He had big chances in the quarterfinal. He's taken this one.
Well, it's not a big touch, but it's an important one for Bayern. It's all about the speed and the quality of the ball in from Kimmich. He attacks it when no one else does. Not a challenge from a PSG player.
His 67th appearance in the competition. His first goal. He's not scored in any competition since November. Really should have scored against Real Madrid in the quarterfinal. Vitinha, the man with the most completed passes in the Champions League, restarts by passing the ball to a total stranger in the grandstands. That's what PSG do. Kane. And here goes Analyse. Nuno Mendes with some very cute defending. Fabian Ruiz's first involvement. It might take him a minute or two to get up to the speed of this game.
We were saying, Clive, that those chances are still coming for Bayern. It would be something sensational to come back from 5-2 down, but whether it be a set piece like this, a free kick again, or Lima getting forwards, you still had the openings, not capitalised. It's a very similar position. You would imagine Kimmich is just going to do exactly the same. Just drifted in towards that far post.
Manu provided the cross from which Kingsley Coman won the 2020 final against Paris Saint-Germain in Lisbon. Kimmich. Savinov takes evasive action.
Got a good block on Upamecano there in the line. That made the difference, gave Savinov the chance.
Lovely pass from Kimmich. Analyse available. Saw the run of Stanisic, so too did Fabian Ruiz. Bradley Barkler will be next. To the party. It's a bit like arriving at a party and everybody there's already about 6 beers down the road. Here's Musiala. It's wonderful. Back towards Kane. Stanisic.
And we're queuing up. The chances are still coming. I wonder how long can Bayern keep on pressing like this? They haven't got the options that PSG have, but they're still pressing.
And at the risk of repeating myself, it will not be any different next week. It's tempted to say during the first half that it had the rhythm of an NBA game. It might have the score of an NBA game soon. Analyse. Lifted away by Vitinha. Even in the midst of the mayhem, a clever little flip pass, and here goes Kvaratskhelia. Kane. It's on towards Luis Diaz. Fabulous first touch. Luis Diaz, yeah! It's 5-4. What a pass by Harry Kane. Oh, it's not going to count. It'll be checked, of course. First touch deserved a goal. Oh, well, he's onside. I think he's onside. It's as tight as you like, but it is as brilliant as you like. This is such a tight call. He scored a couple here in November and was then red carded all before half time. It was Luis Diaz who curled in the decisive goal of the quarterfinal in the 89th minute against Real Madrid. He has scored in his last 3 Champions League games. Has he made it 4 in a row? This is so tight. I think it's going to stand, you know.
Yep.
Onside, 5-4. He has scored in 4 Champions League games in a row. 26 for the season.
Well, the vision is matched by the skill. He looks to his teammate, Harry Kane, and says, that's just brilliant. Well, that touch and that finish match the ball. This game just keeps on giving and giving.
And somewhere you'll find a wizened old football coach who'll be shaking his or her head and saying, no, this isn't how you play the game. They're not defending.
This is for the ages. This is just sensational.
They are playing to their strengths. This is what they do best. Barkla off. Desiree Doué off. Bobby Barker had actually started all 12 Champions League games for Paris Saint-Germain this season before the quarterfinals. He missed the first leg against Liverpool through injury. Came on for 40 minutes of the return. She's got this one right. It was a devilishly difficult call for the assistant. As if we needed telling.
Yeah.
Toenail.
So, yeah. Like I say, it was pinpoint ball and a pinpoint finish. Just incredible.
Don't trim your toenails on the eve of a game in the Champions League. Might need it. Twenty more minutes, you can say that, can you? I mean, you just never know with Champions League semi-finals. Last year, Inter scored in the 93rd minute to force extra time against Barcelona and got through. Year before, Real Madrid scored 2 late goals to foil Bayern Munich. PSG struck the woodwork 6 times against Dortmund that year and lost. 2022, maybe Real Madrid's most dramatic late show to foil Manchester City. The Rodrigo goals. The worst defeats are semi-final defeats. But these 2 teams don't contemplate the idea of losing. It is a winning mentality and a winning attitude.
Semi-finals are about what-ifs and regrets, but so much has happened in this game alone. It's so difficult to just go back and say who's played well, who's played badly. It's just been incredible.
Those last 2 Bayern goals came 3 minutes apart, just as the 2 PSG goals at the start of the half that made it 5-2, remember, came 3 minutes apart. Michael Olise. Pavlovich played Lima into trouble. Nothing, he couldn't handle it. The back pass is a little short, but Neuer is alert to that. Stanisic got just enough on that. Luis Diaz has found Analyse. Michael Analyse wins the corner.
Mendes with a big thanks to his teammate Xavi Ruiz. Left him for dust and to get that right. The set piece for Bayern, though. Another opportunity for this man.
Referee's got some peacekeeping to do. Olise to take. Towards up at Meccano again. I think it might have reached Tar. It's gone for another corner.
Those two players come in from the edge of the penalty spot. Cause absolute havoc in there for PSG. See them there waiting, penalty spot. And allow them to run in. I think you're dicing with death, really.
Smuggled behind by Hakimi. Kimmich from the left-hand side. Deep towards Tar. Safanov managed to fend it away. Kvaratskhelia boots it away.
It's a big block, that important block. Wasn't sure where it's going. He got blocked off himself, and then Pavlovich came, Musiala all in a row waiting.
Musiala. Dispossessed by Fabian Ruiz. Hakimi. Just no dropping in the pace or the intent. Barcola. Luis Diaz is back there. Pavlovich with a fine pass to Musiala. Olise, Musiala. Lima. Lima. Kane on the move. Pacho moving even faster, but he bundles Kane to the ground. And Kane just escapes with the ball. And here's Luis Diaz looking for Kimmich. That's terrific from Harry Kane. Pavlovich. Kimmich trying to turn into space. Olise. They're queuing up for a cross. Can't quite connect with Stanisic. Fabian Ruiz has done some important work without the ball since coming on, but he's lost it here. Olise bundled over and Fabian Ruiz sees yellow.
Just to make the decision to stop the game, Fabian Ruiz had had enough. I think he's had enough of defending. He's only been on the pitch 20 minutes and he's defended more to PSG in those 20 minutes than he has in the rest of his career.
I think that knee might be playing him up.
Yeah, there you go. I just want to stop the game. But another set piece for Bayern, another opportunity.
They want to bring another big man onto the field, and Leon Goretzka maybe sensing that this could be a fruitful source for them. Goretzka will want to get on for the free kick.
Got enough of Meccano in weight, but it's going to add to the strength.
It's a bit of a mismatch in there height-wise, I think. Jamal Musiala, who himself is finding his way back from serious injury, an injury he suffered against PSG last July, will come off, and on comes the very experienced Leon Goretzka. Played in the 2020 final against PSG. Olise, goalkeeper committed, did just about enough. Pacho heads it away. Not the set piece, not the corner. Safanov did a lot of punching in the quarterfinals against Liverpool. He's done it pretty effectively tonight. Kimmich. Safanov will catch that one.
For a keeper who's let in 4 goals, he feels like he's done everything he can, really, in terms of distribution, in terms of decision-making.
Olise lifted in towards Luis Diaz. Marquinhos did pretty well against him. Bayern Munich throw. Marquinhos talked his way into trouble.
Is him, Marquinhos booked now, outside of the pitch, and thinking with Luis Diaz in the form that he's in, to run at them.
But again, if you imagine that recovering from 2-5 down to 4-5 down with a home match to come might make Bayern Munich a little more conservative in these last 10 minutes, you just haven't been watching closely enough.
No, they've just got 100 minutes to score as many as they can now. Just keep on pressing. Since going 5-2 down, they've been the team, haven't they? They've been the ones to keep on pressing.
I mean, that's an ambitious ball by Kimmich. It's a little, I almost said irresponsible, but the game is wonderfully irresponsible. Oh, it's fabulous from Olise. Goretzka made the run. Attacked well by João Neves, who couldn't quite link up with Kvaratskhelia. Luca Hernandez wants off Bayern Munich. Nuno Mendes is feeling it.
Not often you see this. Nuno Mendes going down with cramp. This is collector's item.
Well, he's missed some training in the last couple of weeks because of the muscular injury that he suffered at Liverpool a couple of weeks ago. Luca Hernandez, who's had time off the bench in each of the last 5 Champions League games. Spent 4 seasons at Bayern. He was on the bench for that 2020 final against Paris Saint-Germain. I don't think we'll be seeing too many of these players in action at the weekend. Paris Saint-Germain are home to mid-table Lorient in the French League. They're 6 points clear at the top now. Still got to go to Lens, their only real rivals. Bayern Munich are at home to the bottom club Heidenheim on Saturday. Their title race is already won.
It's not often you see PSG outpassed in a game.
Kovacic has won that from João Neves. And here's Olise. Well, he's audacious. It clearly feels that everybody else isn't quite on his wavelength there, but I have to say neither am I. I'm not sure what he had in mind.
Goretzka has stopped. He's expecting the run. Just can't keep your eyes off him, can you? Not be quite sure what you're going to get.
Mendes makes way, and so too does Kòmantè Kvaratskhelia. With a straight swapper left back, with Luca Hernandez taking his place. And meanwhile, Seni Meulu, who's been involved in the last 3 French League games, but only an hour or so off the bench in the Champions League knockout rounds, comes on in his place. Scored the 5th in the final last year.
Hello. Top of your screen has moved on to the left-hand side. Sonny Miulu on this right-hand side. Oh. I mean, that will change. We know there's only 6 minutes left, but they'll still be everywhere and all over.
It's calmly done by Neuer. Pavlovic. Are they penalised?
Just thinking of the toll that this takes on the players. Even with a week, 8 days to go before the next one, it will take some recovery to get over this and get prepared for the next.
Well, I don't know you, but I need a couple of days in bed. Luis Diaz forward. Might come for Goretzka. Does fall for João Neves. Don't think I'll be on the Champs-Élysées tonight. Ineos first to it. Kimi tries to keep it alive. Goretzka down to Pavlovic. Tar. Lima. I think Luis Diaz knows he's offside this time.
Oh, we're 85 minutes in, Clive. 5 minutes in, and it's the first time the game has slowed down. Fraction. Some really weary bodies out there.
There's a 7-minute period in this second half. And PSG's lead was 5-2. I think during those 7 minutes, we did begin to wonder whether we'd seen this semi-final settled here in Paris on night 1. We should have known better. Fabian Ruiz. It's a really good pass for Vitinha. 3 in support of him. This is Seni Meulu. Frame of the goal still rocking.
Well, he couldn't have hit it any better. Boy, has been beaten in pretty much every shot he's faced. But then he was beaten again. Just felt his angle. Saying, go on, do your worst. And certainly Miulu almost lived up to it.
Scored at Chelsea from the edge of the box in the round before last with a searing shot into the roof of the net. 19-year-old Seni Meulu almost repeated that. Hakimi getting forward. Luis Diaz goes back with him. Lima. Pavlovic. He doesn't want to go back to Neuer, and I don't think Neuer really wants him back there. He's offering himself. Lima with a handoff on Hakimi, who goes down holding his hamstring. Neuer clear as far as Fabian Ruiz only. Barcola. Referee has stopped play because he's concerned about Achraf Hakimi. He's had his injury issues this season. And Luis Enrique did have a lot of injury problems to deal with in the first half of the season. Just stumbled awkwardly there and pulled out.
That was possibly straight into the leg. It's a cramp again. Everyone's going down, and what an addition that would have been. Goal number 10 tonight. Absolute rocket. Before Neuer could even react, it's past him.
It's a timeout, a rare timeout. On an evening when time had just flown by. Just a captivating contest. And we're only halfway through it at most. Nobody would be surprised if this goes to extra time in Munich next Wednesday.
At what score, we have no idea.
Yes, do not adjust your sets if you're just joining us. It is still only 1 for a goal in this sport. Paris Saint-Germain, who led 5-2 at one stage in this second half. As things stand, are taking a 1-goal lead to the Allianz in Munich next week, where Bayern Munich have beaten them on 3 of their 4 visits, but where PSG won the Champions League final in spectacular fashion last spring. Harry Kane, Jonathan Tah, Konrad Laimer. Alex Pavlovich. Luis Diaz. Kane. Really get hold of it. 4 added minutes.
Just felt Harry Kane fancied that from the moment he got it. So they're going, it's been what? Nearly an hour since I've scored.
Vincent Kompany will be back on the Bayern touchline next week. His suspension is just the 1 game. Stanislav's just selling Analyse short. Luca Hernandez intervenes. Jonathan Tah. Police. It's a fabulous pass. Stanisic is onside. 5 to aim for. Kimmich will knock it in. Knock it straight into the hands of a very grateful Russian goalkeeper, Matt Bisavanov. Just going to get a look at the final moments of the game.
Oh, we came into it hoping it was going to be this sort of game, and it hasn't disappointed, has it? It's everything we could have hoped for.
It's been better. Luis Diaz. Pavlovich. Laimer. Charged down by João Neves. Cleared by Meulu. Look at Makana. Goalkeeper's injured. Referee's got to stop this. These 4 added minutes are about to become more.
Even the keeper's got cramp.
He only played in Russia till he came here a couple of years ago. Had much pedigree, really, Matt Bisafanov. Started the season as understudy to Luca Chevalier, but for number 1 now. Some very courageous goalkeeping tonight.
Yeah, sharp off his line. Few times in there. Wasn't the favourites to get there first, and Had to get that right.
Nicholas Jackson is on. And it's Alex Pavlovich who's gone off. Jackson, who's just learnt in the last few days that Bayern are not going to sign him permanently. He's heading back to Chelsea at the end of the season, where he's with Bayern on loan. Jackson involved. Cross charge down. Headed away by Pacho. Kimmich. Lupa Meccano. Olise. Here's Harry Kane. Going to settle for the corner. The last action of Act 1.